Well, hey everybody. Welcome to the update preview stream. This is Bugs here. I'm joined today by Artemis and Shadow. Say hi, guys.
Hi, guys.
And actually, Artemis is not going to be talking today because unfortunately she's under the weather and not talking too well. And actually, I'm in a similar boat. Earlier in the week, I was exposed once again to that wonderful virus that is going around the whole world. And thankfully I had it last in June, so I'm not like full blown sick, but I have brain fog like a motherfucker, and I have no energy. Like just walk into like the kitchen, and I'm like gassed. But anyway, so it's going to be a short one today. Also, it lines up because there isn't a whole ton to report on. But hey, we got gingerbread men suits coming next week, so that's going to be cool. So as always, if you have any questions, feel free to do at shadow_rustified in chat, and we'll get to as many questions as I have the energy to today. And with everyone wondering when's whip, what's going on with that stuff? Well, wipes today for Rustafied servers are the weekly Thursday wipe servers. That's your mains, your smalls, your barons, and your Zen labs. And those are wiping at the regular scheduled time, which is 5 p.m. local time for the region. Speaking of wipe time, we do have a poll up now. We got some requests to do wipe times earlier. And so we put a poll up on our Discord that we're running through the end of the year. So if you want wipe times to be 3 p.m. local time, 2 hours earlier than they currently are for Rustified servers, or if you don't and you want to keep it 5 p.m., either way, go to rustified.com/discord, look at our polls channel when you get in there, and thumbs up or thumbs down that poll. Let us know what you think when you want those wipe times to be. So anyway, with wipes, EU wiped an hour ago, EU main, small, Baron, Zen Labs, EUS. AUSEA wiped like 11, 12 hours ago. BR main wipes in 3 hours. For all our wonderful BR people, no update on BR servers yet. I'm giving it to the end of the year. And if we haven't got any movement on our BR infrastructure by then, I might be changing some things up in the new year, but I'll let you know. But no update on BR infrastructure quite yet. The hardware's still sitting in customs down in Sao Paulo. And then US servers wipe in 4 hours time at 5 p.m. EST. So, with that aside, what do we have going on in Rust development this week? Well, the big news this week is that Xmas is next week. That's right, the Rust Xmas event. I want to say this is like 5 or 6 years running now that they've been doing an Xmas event. It goes live next week, and it's shaping up on staging to have some more festive items and cool stuff. Specifically, this gingerbread outfit is now on staging, and we're all rocking one here. And it's pretty cool looking, pretty festive. I'm assuming this is going to be for sale on the item store next week and probably for sale through the end of the year. How these Xmas events generally work, and it's like the other festive events throughout the year. It'll go live with a mandatory client and server patch next week at 2 p.m. EST. We'll, of course, be here at 1 p.m. EST streaming and showing off everything coming in the Xmas update. But that will go live next week on the 15th and then run through the end of the year until the January update. I want to say that's going to be January 3. When is the January update? January 5. Okay. So yeah, it'll run basically 3 weeks. The update that launches the Xmas stuff will not force a wipe, but it is mandatory, both client and server side, to get this Christmas stuff in there. And then once the Xmas event is live, if you've never experienced a Rust Xmas event, it's pretty cool. There's, instead of the airdrop, there's Santa with his sleigh and his reindeer, and he drops better loot. There's jingle bells that will play once every in-game day, and then around you, presents spawn all over the place. You knock those present boxes, uh, you break them. God, this brain fog is heavy today. I apologize, everyone, but bear with me. we'll get through this. But yeah, you smash those present boxes, then you get actual present items. There's small, medium, and large presents. You can combine 10 small to make a medium, 10 medium to make a large. And then you can unwrap them at any point and get some goodies. And on top of all that, like mainstay Xmas stuff we've known for years now, there's a bunch of other festive items coming in this year. It looks like we got some gingerbread houses. It looks like there's, remember at Christmas there was like the portal thing. It looks like there's going to be something like that, but with like gingerbread something or other. Honestly, I'm not. I've been on the couch playing the new Need for Speed all week, just trying not to die. So I don't know what the fuck is going on with the Exodus event quite yet, but we will be back next week prior to going live with all the details of the new items coming in. But long and short, there's going to be some new items available on the item store for purchase, probably some old festive items coming back to the item store that maybe you didn't get a chance to buy previous years and you want to buy, and all that good festive stuff. So we'll be back next week with a rundown of all that. And of course, on rustafied.com, first thing next Thursday, there'll be just a written summary, text and pictures, all that good stuff, summarizing everything you as a player need to know about the Rust Xmas event. Now, in other development news this week, you might have noticed a little hot fixie fix going live. Like the other day, you might have noticed a little client update. That is pretty standard, par for the course after a big monthly update. And specifically, that little hot fix fixed a couple things, but the big noticeable one is there is a broken seat on the rowboat, and that has been resolved. It is working now. Also, this week in development news, we got more progress on the industrial branch. It looks like it's going to make its way to the aux 2, or it did make its way to aux 2, although last we checked, aux 2 is not available for testing for the public. So that's more like an internal testing environment as it stands now. But industrial progress is moving forward, and it's at a point where they're at least internally testing, which means we might see this in the next couple months here. I doubt we're going to see anything of real significance go live in January, just because traditionally speaking, December is a slower month for development. A lot of the uh, developers go on a much deserved and needed break. And so the development cycle does slow generally in December. That means come January, we're probably not going to see something large like industrial go live, but maybe in February, we will see it start taking form and hit the staging branch, and maybe it'll go live in production for February. If you don't know, the industrial branch is a pretty interesting one. It started in the commits with talk around this auto crafter, and the idea being that it attaches to a workbench, and then you put in a blueprint and the resources and then let it go, and it'll just start auto crafting. And then we saw some talk about an electric furnace and stuff like that. So basically, yeah, a furnace like know and love, but instead of running on low grade, it'll run on electricity. And now there's talk about this industrial piping, and this week we saw this pipe wrench tool get added to help with placement of industrial pipes. And this is still, we haven't seen anything definitive yet, but it looks like you're going to be able to craft stuff and then guide stuff to where you want it, like storage or furnaces or the like. It looks like you'll be able to actually guide items potentially with these industrial pipes. So I'm thinking like the wire tool or the hose tool, but just for industrial pipes, so that you can say, okay, when this autocrafter is done, store it in this box. And we also in the commits a couple weeks ago saw some stuff around item count thresholds and stuff like that. So it looks like you'll even maybe be able to have some rule set to say like up until 10 of this item, send it into this box, but then after that, I don't know, send it somewhere else or something. So it's an interesting body of work that's going on here. And I even feel in my brain fog that I missed a key point or two of that whole industrial branch in there as well. But it's all to say it's a large body of work that is really going to shift how base management is done, how crafting is done, how base bitching is done, quite frankly, because it looks like a lot of the stuff will be able to be automated And that's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting for large groups and optimizing their progression and management of their bases, but it also stands to be advantageous to smaller groups, so they don't have to spend so much time in the base actually doing this stuff. They can more automate it. So we're keeping a close eye on industrial progress. Once again, I don't think it's going to go live in January. I don't think anything big is going to go live in January just because of the holidays. And, traditionally speaking, that doesn't happen. But I think maybe come February, maybe come spring, we're going to see some big changes in the realm of industrial stuff. Now, also, the one thing we actually do have on staging today is better dismounting. This just got merged in, and it's related to horses and dismounting. And I'll be honest, I haven't tested this out at all yet because I just got my ass out of bed to sit here and do this stream. So, Shadow, what are we seeing with this horse dismounting? It's just prioritizing dismounting to the left and the right as opposed to dismounting on top. Is that the little thing?
Yeah, that is what it looks like, and
That's
you
it, yeah.
stand on the side of it when you dismount it.
Yeah, yeah. So that's just
Pretty
better
easy
horse.
peasy.
Yeah, better horse dismounting. It's looking for parts either to the left or the right that you can find, as opposed to just dismounting you right on top of the horse, because that's not generally speaking how you dismount a horse. So that's cool. Better horse dismounting. I don't know if this is going to sneak its way in with the Xmas update stuff next week, but I don't know. Shadow, what were you going to say?
Now, I think it seems like it's easier to turn left and right. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because I don't write so much on.
And I got a good question here. Does it prioritize one side or the other if it's got even space on one side? So, like, can you count on dismounting to the left or the right if there's infinite space either way?
Hold on, let me try.
Yeah, we might need to bring this horse outside.
I have a horse outside.
Oh, look at you, all prepared.
Seems like it's left mostly.
To the left?
Yeah,
Yeah, it looks like it's prioritizing left. Good question.
yeah. Because inside it was on the right side, but I think it depends how far you are from the wall.
Yeah, if
So
something's
that would
blocking you on the left,
yeah,
it'll go
definitely.
to the right. Yeah.
More space. That's why you jump out.
What if you look right and dismount? Can you force it to dismount to one side or the other? Or no, it doesn't look like it. Looks like you're just, if it's
Yep.
got the space, it looks like you're just dismounting to the left.
Yep.
Cool. Well, that's horse dismounting there. That just made its way onto the staging branch. It's one of the few things that is here on the staging branch to show off, other than some of this Christmas stuff. But long and short with that, instead of dismounting on the top of the horse, which doesn't make a lick of sense, now it's really prioritizing dismounting to the left or the right. And if there's space on either side, it's going to prioritize dismounting to the left, regardless of where you look. So that's what better dismounting is. Now, what other is there any other Christmas stuff that you guys are seeing? As I said, I haven't really been checking this stuff out this week. So we got the gingerbread
I
outfit.
haven't saw anything yet, but it might be coming out when the Christmas event's coming out.
Yeah, and that's very often the case also is and why we don't report too early on like any of these festivities, because very often it's being worked on until a day or two before the update actually comes out. And so there might be some other new things coming. I think there's like a gingerbread portal thing coming, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure if that's like a reskin of the Halloween portal stuff that we had. But yeah, we're gonna keep an eye on staging this week, and we'll have a full write up next week on all the new holiday festivity stuff coming. The other thing to note for the article next week is sometimes we don't know until the update goes live whether an item's going to be available in game or only on the item store, because we don't really know until the item store is updated. So we'll keep that article up to date as next week progresses to let you know everything you need to know. Um, Man, I love the details on that gingerbread
Yeah, right.
costume. It's like a little worn, a little worse for wear. You know, yeah, it's rusty.
I just saw someone asking if the gong makes a sound when you throw a snowball on it, and it does.
Nice.
A gong gong.
That's a. I wonder what this does to your hitboxes. This gingerbread,
Yeah.
because it certainly looks like you're a bigger target there. I don't know if that's.
But you're not so fat either. You're pretty flat. You don't have any ass.
Yeah, yeah. You ain't gonna get shot in the ass, but also. Oh yeah, Artemis is making a good point. They could be the enemy outfits. We might not be able to wear them at all, which would make
Uh,
sense if it changes. Yeah. Um, because yeah, sometimes we do see these enemy outfits become spawnable for us as admins on staging, but then an actual player never gets to play them. So perhaps we won't be able to actually run around in these costumes, but and maybe they'll just be the enemies in the gingerbread portholes. So we'll see. All this is taking shape still. You know, nothing's set in stone on the staging branch until it, in fact, goes live. So we, as always, will keep you up to date as we get closer to this update. And do check out rustified.com next week because that's where we'll summarize everything you can expect as a player to come in this Xmas update. Now, Shadow, do we have any questions from the audience we want to cover here?
Let me check. In the meantime, when is Web?
Whip is at the regular scheduled time for oh God, brain fog. Jesus. With is that regular scheduled time for each region? That is 5 p.m. local time for the region. That means EU wiped an hour and 16 minutes ago. Uh, US will wipe in like 3 hours and 44 minutes. BR wipes in 2 hours and 44 minutes. AU and SEA wiped like 11, 12 hours ago because they live in the future. And that's the deal with wipes. It's map wipes only, and it's only the weekly Thursday wipe servers for Rustafied that are wiping today.
Will there be any special items in the store to celebrate the 9 years birthday?
I don't know if they're going to have special store items, and that is the other thing. Sunday is Rust's ninth birthday, and with that, there is going to be a special in-game event for just that whole day, where basically you spawn with some cake and I think a hat, and then there's going to be some balloons around some different, slightly different loot around the map, and that is a one-day only thing on Sunday to celebrate Rust's ninth birthday. So a very happy birthday to Rust and a shout out to the team at Facepunch for tirelessly working on this for almost 10 years now. Every week, every month, coming out with updates, improving the game, fixing the game, adding awesome new stuff to the game. It's really incredible. This game is really a unicorn if you think about it. I mean, in the gaming space, the idea that a game would be released and then rebuilt from the ground up and then 8+ years later, it's still in active development, still adding game changing new stuff on the monthly. It's crazy. So thank you, Face Punch. Shout out to Gary, Helk, Alistair, Ern, Peter, Andre, Jake, all the people at Face Punch. Man, I shouldn't start naming names when I'm this brain fogged. I can't even think of my own name. But yeah, huge shout out to everyone at Face Punch. Awesome job and happy birthday to Rust.
Okay, so I thought this was funny. We have to stop stream because we have a EU man. Oh God, EU man that's lagging. So we better stop streaming. He said.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
thankfully we are aware of that, and our systems team is looking into that. I'm not sure what's going on with the humane. It might just be because there's like 300 people in queue and something's getting overloaded. But our systems team is looking at that. I apologize for any inconvenience, but also know that the team here, we're the stream team, yo. We're not the systems team, so we got a team on that. But
Yeah,
thank you
separate.
for the heads up, and I apologize for the inconvenience.
Can you dance with the suit on?
Oh, now we're asking the important questions here.
Right. So that's up to you, Bugs, because I don't have that on this account.
All right,
Like
let me get back in
dancing.
game. Let me get my dancing shoes on.
Oh yeah, twerk it, twerk it.
Yeah.
He can. It's still working. And also, I saw he said a while ago, Alistar stated that clothing slash armor doesn't change player model hitboxes.
Yeah, I seem to remember that as well. And once again, I'm not sure this gingerbread suit. I think this might just be enemies. I'm not sure players are going to be able to wear this gingerbread suit. So just as a heads up.
Has Rust force wiped this month yet?
Yeah, Rust forced wiped on the first. Actually, this was yeah, it basically there's an update and forced wipe every first Thursday of the month, and this month was the first day of the month was a Thursday. So it was literally the first day of the month was when there was the wipe and the update. The next wipe and update is expected on January 5th. I wouldn't expect a whole ton of new content with that because a lot of the development team takes a well-deserved and much needed kind of break during December. So December, historically speaking, isn't a huge month for big things in the works, and subsequently January is not a big month for huge things being released into the game. But yeah, and there is an update next week, but it's not a forced wipe. It's just going to be a mandatory client and server patch to launch the holiday stuff, the Xmas stuff, and that Xmas stuff will run for 3 weeks from the 15th until the 5th of January when the new update comes out and it'll be disabled.
Is the Snowball Launcher coming back? And if so, can we mount it in the turret yet?
Ooh, good question. I'm not sure if the Snowball Launcher is going to make a comeback. We'll have to wait and see. I think it probably will. Now, whether it works on a turd or not, I don't know. Are we able to spawn one in at the moment? Maybe we can test that real quick. And an update on EU main, by the way, our systems team is in touch with our host. It looks like it might be some sort of network congestion issue on the host level, um, and they're looking into it. Hopefully, this does get resolved shortly. I apologize for the inconvenience. I swear, the internet, has anyone realized the internet fucking sucks lately? It's like things go down all the time. Like, I'm not talking Rust, I'm just talking like the internet in general over the past couple months. It just seems like things are much more prone to go down and be shoddy as fuck. And then, as someone who hosts servers all over the world, it seems like, yeah, it just seems like network issues keep happening like they didn't used to. I don't know. I'm not going to try to put a tinfoil hat on over here or anything, but it seems like the internet be sucking.
I don't know if it's my internet or just, but I had a lot of issues with Google and Twitch lately. Like all of a sudden it's not showing anything at all. It's just black. It's like
Yeah, it's like timeouts and shit. Yeah, I don't
it
know.
takes forever to load.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with this whole internet thing. Jesus. Oh man, I gotta end the stream soon. I'm fading here. I'm fading. Should we do a recap or we got another couple questions?
Now you should definitely do a recap because I
Cool.
don't
So
have any questions.
as a recap for anyone tuning in, I am struggling with a little covey wovey at the moment. It's not like a full blown sick because thankfully, well, I don't know if it's thankfully, but I had full blown uh, last June. And so I guess I got the antibodies or something. So I'm just like brain fogged and fatigued like a motherfucker. So we're going to keep this one short, but it is kind of a slow news week anyway. So let's get into it. We got a boat hot fix, not uncommon after a little uh, Thursday wipe and big update. Uh, we see like hot fixes every now and again. The one we saw the other day was just fixing one of the seats in the rowboat wasn't working, so that's fixed. Not sure. I don't think any other hot fixes are coming down the pike, but we do have next week a mandatory client and server patch hitting at 2 p.m. Eastern. So basically, 1 week and 36 minutes from now, roughly, is when the Christmas stuff is going to go live. This is the Rust Xmas event. It's been going on for probably 5+ years, but it does look like there's some new stuff coming in this year. Looks like some gingerbread portals, maybe a gingerbread house or something. Not sure the full extent of it. We've got these gingerbread men costumes that we are wearing at the moment, but I think they might just be enemy costumes as I think about it. I don't know that players are going to be able to wear this gingerbread costume, but we're on staging and we can spawn it in and put it on. So, of course, that's what we are doing. But we will have a full rundown of what is coming in the Xmas event next week on rustified.com. And we'll also be here, same time, same place next week to stream and show you everything going on in the Rust Christmas event. Also, on top of that, there's more progress with the industrial body of work. This week, we're seeing a pipe wrench be added. It's a new tool that will help with the placement of industrial pipes. If you're not aware, the industrial work is a huge body of work around really creating like almost like a factory, it seems, in your base. There's like an auto crafter that you can attach to workbenches, put in blueprints and resources, and then it'll just auto craft that stuff. There's an electric furnace in the works. And then it looks like there's also these industrial pipes that will allow things, once they're done in the auto crafter, to be transferred into storage and stuff like that. That's my sense of it, at least. So, huge body of work being undertaken here. And it did get merged into the aux 2 branch for like internal testing, but last I checked, players don't have access to aux 2 at the moment. So it looks like it's just being tested internally. I don't think this is going to come in January because not much big gets released in January, historically speaking, but probably February or March, we'll see this industrial stuff go live. And it's really going to be interesting to see how this shifts the meta around base management, progression, and all that stuff. So we're going to keep a close eye on that and report as more comes to light. Also, this week, the one thing that we do have to show off on staging, it just got merged in before, is better dismounting. So they basically improved how horses dismount. So you don't just dismount on the top all the time. Now it's going to prioritize dismounting to the left or the right. If something's blocking you on the left, it'll dismount to the right. But if there's nothing blocking you on either side, it looks like you're just dismounting to the left all the time, regardless of where you look. But that is the better horse dismounting that did get merged in. Not sure if that's going to sneak its way in with the Xmas content next week, or if we're going to have to wait until January to see that better dismounting go live actually in production. But we'll keep you posted as always. And that's about it for the week. Oh, and Russ is having a birthday. Russ is turning 9. So happy birthday, Rust. Shout out to Face Punch and the whole team there who have spent years and years tirelessly working on building, improving, adding to, optimizing this game. And yeah, it's just so much gratitude and thanks to the team at Face Punch for your awesome work, and happy birthday, Rust. And with that, we got any questions before we wind this down? Because I'm fading.
We have one at least. Wait, so there is no wipe today, or am I tripping?
There are wipes today, but there's no force wipe today. So maybe you're just half tripping because the force wipe was last week. First Thursday is the forced wipe, and the first Thursday this month was the first day of the month. So sometimes people get confused when that happens, but there is no forced wipe today. However, many servers choose to wipe on the weekly. A lot of Rustified servers do have a weekly Thursday wipe schedule, and so those either have wiped already or will wipe in the future. AUSEA Rustified server wiped like 11, 12 hours ago. Wow, yeah, I'm struggling with words here. And then EU wiped an hour and a half ago. BR wipes in 2.5 hours, and 3.5 hours from now, US servers wipe. That's going to be US main, small, Baron, and Zen Labs. Yeah, Zen Labs. Yeah, that's what's going on.
I think that's it, Bugs.
All right, we're gonna call it, guys. Thank you for bearing with me. Sorry, it's kind of shitty one today.
Two sick people here. It's like crazy.
Yeah, hopefully you don't come down with this
Send me
shit,
out of
Shadow.
here.
Yeah,
Bye.
but thank you all so much for tuning in. Happy birthday, Rust. We will be back next week as always, same time, same place, to go through everything you can expect in the Xmas update, which is going live next week at 2 p.m. EST, 7 p.m. GMT. In the meantime, I hope you all have a wonderful week and a wonderful wipe. This is Bugs, signing off.